here at PNC Park. It's the final night game of 2012. It's also Pup Night. Any man's best friend will be in attendance watching this one. Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Pirates and the Atlanta Braves. Chipper Jones, the future Hall of Famer, getting to exchange lineup cards with Clint Hurdle, Pirates manager. First pitch of the ball game from Kevin Correa is up high for ball 1. We are underway in game 2. Pirates winning game 1 last night by a 2-1 score. So Correa winds, and the pitch to the center fielder. Slap foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. The numbers on Kevin.
Start number 28, brought to you by the Western Pennsylvania Chevy dealers. 11-11, 112 for the Bucks last year. 2-2 lifetime against the Atlanta Braves. Kevin Correa finishing up a good year of work, solid year of work.
Strike 2 as this one is fouled a long way out of play down the left side. Kevin Correa out of San Diego, California, headed right back there after tomorrow's finale.
Yep, got slapped around by the Mets last time out, but other than that has pitched well. Recent starts, just misses there. Makes the count to 2-2. Pirates gave a brief lead, slim lead against the New York Mets, but then David Wright, the 3-run home run, and the Mets didn't look back. And R.A. Dickey, his opponent, won his 20th.
Pulled foul for Michael Bourne. It's 2-2. Kevin heading back to his hometown, and the Correa name in San Diego is a big one in the fishing community. Kevin and I were chatting about that before the game. His grandfather ran a tuna fishing business, and there's actually a school named after the Correa family in San Diego. Bourne lays off that one. Appeal down to third. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, said he did not go. 3-2. Full count to Michael Bourne, first batter of the ball game.
Want to keep his 40 steal speed off the base paths. He's doing what a good leadoff man does. Work the pitcher, see a lot of pitches.
So Kevin Correa staying away, up and away to Michael Bourne.
Interesting, because he'll slap it to left field in a minute if he can.
Struck him out.
Upstairs.
That's how the ball game starts. Kevin Correa with a punch out of Michael Bourne. Let's take a look at the lineup sent out there by Braves manager Freddie Gonzalez. Not a regular lineup. Bourne, one of the regulars in there. Tyler Pasternicki, then Andrelton Simmons, who's been playing shortstop. Lyle Overbay gets the start, hitting cleanup, playing first base. David Ross, Juan Francisco at third, Baker in right. And Stanza is in left field with Tommy Hanson doing the pitching and batting ninth. Freddie Gonzalez taking his team to the postseason. Just waiting to see who they will play in the play-in game. The wild card play-in game. It's an instant game 7. They're either going to play the Cardinals or the Dodgers.
They can call it play in or play off, because the team that loses is off the grid.
And a ground ball off of Correa. He says he's got it. And the quick toss to Jones at first. And Pasternicki is out. 3-1 the hard way.
And this is
3 the hard way.
Yeah, this is a veteran move, because Kevin Correa, if it comes off the body, he signals to Garrett Jones, you stay there, I can get the ball to you. Now watch right here, see him pointing, he's pointing to Garrett, and that makes the difference, because if Garrett is uncertain, then they're going to beat it out. Watch him point. Yep, stay there. Well done. That's a veteran move, presence of mind to keep track of things. The play going 1-1 to 3.
Will this be Kevin Correa's final start as a Pirate? More likely that is the case due to the business of baseball, but we'll see. Andrelton Simmons fouls it back.
Well, maybe the bottom line to that conversation is the fact he will find a rotation in the major leagues to pitch on. You win 11-12 games a year, as he has done consistently, you will get a job in the big leagues.
Clint Hurdle's been happy with his performance, happy with the way he came back after he was sent to the bullpen following 7 consecutive victories. And really likes the attitude and the competitiveness, and I think he'd like to find a way, if possible, to see Kevin back. But baseball is a much more transient game than it used to be. And he wants to be a starter. Kevin will look for that opportunity. 2 pitch outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He told me he didn't want to think about the business of baseball yet. He said a couple more days.
Yep.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Simmons. Pulled out a play down the left side. How about the Rivers Casino tips to win tonight?
Well, take advantage of that clinched lineup. You mentioned it, Tim. The regular's not in there. Take advantage of that. Wake up the bats for the last night game here at PNC Park this year. Score some runs.
Andrew McCutchen like to get some hits tonight. Multiple hits. 1-2 to Andrelton Simmons. Pitch from Correa is up high, and it's an even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
By the way, talking to some of the Braves folks, it's a patched up lineup tonight, but the word is that they will play their regulars, or at least start them tomorrow afternoon for an at-bat or 2. Showcase Chipper Jones once more time, and then most of the regulars will be removed early in the ball game.
Ground ball to first. Jones has it. And Kevin Correa, a clean top of the first. 1, 2, 3 go the Braves. The Pirates coming to the plate against Tommy Hanson. Bottom of the first inning. The Pirates lineup is brought to you by Toyota. Starling Marte will lead off. 4 of his 5 home runs have either tied the game or given the Bucs the lead. And last night gave the Bucs the lead for good. Presley, McCutchen, Jones, McHenry, Alvarez, Harrison, Barnes batting 8th, and Correa hitting 9th against Braves right-hander Tommy Hanson.
13-game winner. Has struggled a bit lately. This young man that signed in actually signed in 2006, came up through the system very, very quickly, and has done a good job. Double-figure wins since 2009. 11 that year, 10 the next year. Last year 11 wins. This year 13.
So Hanson getting ready to deliver the first pitch to Marte. And Starling takes it for a strike. Thank you for the best season ever that we've ever seen. We believe in 2013. It even rhymes.
Yeah. They certainly have won more games than they did last year. It's hard for a lot of the fans to swallow it, and for all of us with the way things went in the last 2 months, but that's what the numbers say.
No balls, 2 strikes. And Marte. That's a fair ball. And Marte's going to turn on the Jets. Marte will stop at second base with a leadoff double, his 3rd double of the season.
Catches that chalk line down the right field line, and he's got everything in front of him. It's going to be 2 bases. And we were talking before the game, Tim, about major leaguers that are exciters. And This guy has got a chance to be one of those. The way he runs, the way he throws, and the way he hits for power. It'll be fun to watch him mature, hopefully, into the kind of player we think he's capable of being. Kind of an abbreviated follow through on the swing, but he's at second base, so it looked just fine.
The Pirates have a man in scoring position with nobody out for Alex Presley. Presley in right field tonight facing Hansen. Hansen out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the pitch up high as Presley pulled the bat back, dropped down on it to show bunt.
He's big enough too. 6'6", 220 pounds out of Tulsa. Tommy Hansen.
Made his big league debut with the Braves in '09. He's always been with Atlanta. 22nd rounder picked up in 2005. 2-0 to Presley.
Looks a little bit like Redbeard the Pirate, doesn't he?
He does. You know, if he had an eye patch on or maybe a
parrot on his shoulder.
Parrot on his shoulder, yeah, fit right in.
One crutch. Long John Silver.
Hansen's 2-0 coming to Presley. Popped him up down the left field side. Constanza will run out of room. Strike one to Alex. Clint Hurdle saying before the game today about Alex Presley that he's been happy with his at-bats. He said he's swinging a good bat this time of year and has found himself in the lineup more often than not down the stretch. And Clint giving Presley an extended look after coming back from AAA.
Let's see if he can move Mr. Marte over to third base. Got the advantage in the count.
Pulls it to the right side, gets the job done. It's gloved by Overbay, and he'll beat Presley to the bag. One gone, and now with one out, Marte is at third base.
He's done his job. Let's see if Andrew can do his.
Center fielder, number 22.
Andrew McCutchen with a .329 average, 31 home runs, 95 RBIs with 2 games to go. He still has a shot if he gets some guys on in front of him. Perhaps he could pick up 5 RBIs over 2 days. You'd have to have a couple of good games to do it.
Well, Hansen has given up 26 home runs. He can grab a couple of them right here.
Popped him up right side and out of play.
Braves are willing to concede a run. Perhaps can make a trade for an out for a run. They do that playing back on the infield.
Marte getting the lead off of third base. Hansen stretch and the 0-1 to McCutchen. There's a ground ball to short. And Simmons will throw on to first base. Marte scores and the Pirates on the board. It's 1-0. Andrew McCutchen drives in his 96th run.
We talked about exciters. McCutchen certainly in that category. I hope that Marte emerges as that kind of a player.
So, Garrett, McCutchen knows that he needed to get that run in more than he needed to get a base hit to help his cause for the batting title, which has primarily slipped away at this point in time. He's just a little too far behind Posey to get that, but good at bat for McCutchen to get that run in. When the Pirates score first, they're 46-20. And McCutchen made sure that first run came in. That's what a leadoff double can do. Jones hits this one high in the air to right field. Drifting back is Baker. And the ballpark's going to hold it. Well, the Pirates end up with a run and a hit. Nobody left. And after an inning full at PNC Park, it's the Bucks 1 and the Braves nothing.
Pirates baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. By your Toyota dealers. Life is all about the ride. See your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers today for a great car with a great deal. And by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
1-0 Pirates. Good start on a pretty night in Pittsburgh. So we head to the top of the second inning, and Lyle Overbay takes a strike from Kevin Correa.
And he's kind of a shifty player. Pirates shift on him, leaving Pedro between second and third, all by himself.
0-1 to Overbay. That's in the dirt. In fact, Overbay today, a late arrival to the ballpark. Didn't know that he was going to be part of this Sunday lineup. Oh no, Tuesday. And Paul Maholm actually texted him and said, "Hey Lyle, you're in the lineup batting cleanup tonight. You may want to get to the park." And so Overbay left the hotel here as quick as he could to prepare himself for the ball game. 2 balls and a strike. Last year, Overbay began the year with the Pirates, finished it up with the Diamondbacks. It was his second tour of duty with Arizona.
Had a good, solid career, Lyle Overbay.
Three and one. Yes, he went. And a strike. That's 3-2. And Overbay, who really admittedly said things did not work out for him here last year, is certainly one of the more solid citizens you're going to run into in the game. 3-2 pitch. It's up high, ball 4. And Overbay draws a leadoff walk. Last night, Jeff Locke got his first major league win. He is the subject of our PNC achievement. Locke ended up going 6 innings, giving up just 2 hits and 1 earned run. He struck out 6. And there were 5 walks in there, but proved to be inconsequential in the end game. Jeff Locke, PNC achievement for the achiever in you.
He really did a good job and really got kind of stronger as the ball game went on.
Michael McHenry presenting him with the game ball for his first big league win. Jared Hughes, who finished up the game with a save, saved the ball for him and made sure to present it to him, or get it presented to him from McHenry.
The veteran, the youngster, A.J. Burnett alongside Jeff Locke.
And Locke has the locker beside A.J. Burnett, just to the right of A.J. in the Pirates clubhouse.
Nothing wrong with that, being around that experience. And you can survive a start where in 6 innings you walk 5 if you only give up 2 hits. Yeah. It's the combination. If you start giving up a bunch of hits with that many walks, well, you're not going to be around in the 6th inning. It's all about the number of base runners, no matter how they get on. That's the big number.
Catcher David Ross, a 1-1 count. It's inside. I asked Jeff when he got back to the big leagues. He had a stint earlier in the year and then didn't pitch and came back to pitch. Got the locker next to AJ. I said, "How'd you get a locker next to AJ?" He said, "I don't know, but I like it." He said, "We talk baseball." He said, "I'm picking up things from him all the time."
I saw him before the game today, and he's talking about this is tough. This is the big leagues. There's a lot of difference between AAA and the big leagues. A lot more hitters can hurt you. He said, "This is a man's league." And, he's getting an education.
2 balls and a strike to David Ross.
Every time he goes out there, he will learn more.
2-2.
Late decision for David to take a whack at that one.
Well, Ross has been around. He's been a serviceable backup catcher, starter at times, but backing up here with the Braves, backs up Brian McCann.
A little time with the Bucks.
Yep. He's been around, this guy.
Back-to-back former Pirates.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Correa's pitch. Missed just off the corner. Fills up the count at 3-2. See where this one
Let's
was.
take a look. Range resources strike zone. Just tad off the corner. Bill Welke at home plate. Corey Blazer, Chris Guccione, and the crew chief Jeff Nelson. Men in blue.
Payoff pitch coming to Ross. It goes over Bay, and this one is hit in the air to right center. And over to get it is Alex Presley. Overbay will have to retreat to first. 1 out for the Braves in the second. Ross is out. And now Correa will face the third baseman, Juan Francisco. And Chipper Jones off tonight. As Steve had mentioned, Braves plan to play their starters tomorrow for a little while. That might have the resemblance of a spring training game, with the starters playing half the game tomorrow, or most, if not half the game. Chipper Jones tomorrow will be his final regular season game. And the Braves will go back home to Atlanta and play either the Dodgers or the Cardinals in that instant game 7. Watch out. The bat ends up on the concourse.
That's a big time swing and a miss. I hope he missed all the fans.
And Francisco is not worried about getting his gamer back. He's just going to take a new one and leave it as a souvenir. That's a souvenir. Hello. Good distance.
Yeah, a lot of carry.
Yeah, the bats are carrying well here tonight. 0-1. That's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Francisco.
You worry about the farewell tour of a player like a Chipper Jones. Now, he's been around making a farewell tour. He's going to have already been to a city once that he's going to return to as he gets ready for playoff action. So I'm sure the reception will be just as good. But you got to do it early in the year because you don't know what's going to happen later on.
Strike call. Ball and 2 strikes to Francisco.
Now, if he gets a particular gift at a place that he's going back and try to beat them in the playoffs, now does he have to give the gift back? I don't think so.
No, you can't do that. You got to keep it.
Well, the Pirates had a unique situation in that particular category. And pitch upstairs. Vernon Law retired, and they gave him a shotgun because they knew he was a hunter out west, like just hunting. And so he unretired, and they wanted the gun back. I don't know if they ever got it, but you know it's hard. You know, it's hard to argue with a deacon.
Yeah. Vern Law out in Provo, Utah.
Yep.
I was lucky enough 2 off seasons ago to visit with him at his home in Provo.
Yeah.
Real neat place. Overbay off of first. 3-1 the count to Juan Francisco. He hits a little tapper past the mound, charging his Barnes. He'll hit the out at first. And safe at second base is Overbay. That ball just too slowly hit to turn 2.
Actually, it's kind of hard to think that a deacon would shoot anything.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to shoot out in Utah. So. A lot to shoot in Pennsylvania, too. You be getting any visitors in your yard?
Oh, yeah. We get the usual gaggle of turkeys every morning. Deer come by. We've had 15, 16 sets of flowers planted around various parts. They like them.
Here's Jeff Baker. Baker, the former Colorado Rocky and Chicago Cub. Baker takes the ball, 1-0. 1-0 Pirates, top of the second inning. 2 men out, and Lyle Overbay represents the tying run. He's at second. Overbay, a leadoff walk. Here is Baker. Baker was sent to the Detroit Tigers from the Cubs, and then on the same day was sent to the Braves for a player to be named later. Turned out to be a right-handed pitcher, Greg Ross. And then he made his Braves debut that night as a pinch hitter.
Call that a partial trade. Multiple trade.
Is the Parrot picking out a new friend? Maybe he's just stealing the ball and trying to get away with something. Oh, I don't know. You never know what this. Oh. Yeah, that's okay.
Kevin Correa gets the call there in that backdoor breaking ball.
Let's see if he goes and does it again. The Parrot is in search of another victim. One, two. Struck him out. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left through an inning and a half. It's the Pirates 1 and the Braves nothing. Pirates lead, bottom of the second inning. Michael McHenry to lead off. He'll be followed by Pedro Alvarez and Josh Harrison to face Tommy Hanson. Strike one call to McHenry. Along with Dan Potash and Steve Blass, Tim Neverett with you tonight. Glad you're watching Pirates baseball. Final night game of the 2012 season. Tomorrow afternoon, the finale, 12:35. No balls and 2 strikes to the 4. And a proposal.
Marry me.
Might be a little late.
That's what you call being a fan.
Yeah, it might be a little late for Michael though. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Got him on 3 pitches. Well, as you look ahead toward next season, it's time to place a deposit for your Pirates season tickets. From full season to half and 20 game plans, there's a plan that's just right for you. Enjoy great benefits all season long, like batting practice in the Pirates cages, Q&A with Pirates management, and more. To place your deposit, go to pirates.com/2013.
I just saw a burning sign that I guess that proposal is over. Sign has now been burned.
Really?
Marry me sign after the strikeout.
That's all it took. Alvarez, a high fly ball to left field. Constanza's under it. 2 men out. So 2 out for the Pirates in the second inning. And now Josh Harrison will come up. Facing Hanson. Well, one of the things that we might see is a player perhaps like Josh, maybe not, I'm not sure, but the Pirates aren't saying who, but they are saying that they have recommended to several players they go play winter ball and get some more at bats in.
I'm a big fan of winter ball. You know, if you go to winter ball and you find something like you work on a pitch or you work about a certain thing in your batting, and it helps, you're going to be a fan of winter ball for the rest of your life.
And he's hit by the pitch. Harrison down to first base.
Also, if you go there as a minor leaguer, you can make some decent money. That's one of the reasons I went.
Good to have a big jersey, huh?
Yeah.
AGH cam slows it down for you. Get a good look. Hitting the Pirates logo. Well, when you played winter ball
in the Dominican Republic, yeah.
If I recall, didn't they have automatic weapons in the dugouts at that time?
Yeah, Capablancos. They had machine gunners, military police, each end of the dugout, both dugouts. That's 4 machine guns that you can see.
Pitch to Barmes. There goes Harrison.
Huge.
And
Yeah,
not even contested. Stolen base number 7 on the year for Josh Harrison.
But now what have we gained here? Will they work to Barmes now, or will they? That was too easy. Will they work around Barmes and think about Kevin Correa? Make him pay, Clint.
So what were the machine guns for? In case you didn't pitch well? They line you up against the wall?
Crowd control. Everybody was searched before they came in. That was the year after Trujillo had been assassinated, the dictator, and the whole country was in chaos. I don't know why we went there, except for the money and to work on a slider.
Well, it worked out all right because that was a good pitch for you.
Yeah. Garen has never forgiven me for the honeymoon aspect of going down there.
That was your honeymoon, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Going down to play winter ball.
Yeah. Take me down in this country in chaos.
Here is the 1-ball 2-strike pitch. And Barmes will lift this one into shallow left center field. That's down for a hit. Here comes Harrison.
He makes him pay.
Jay Hay scores, and it's 2-0. 2-out RBI single for Barmes. Barmes having a nice finish to his season.
Just a little flare, drops in short left center field. Nothing they can do about it. The Pirates pick up their second run.
Harrison knows on contact with 2 outs, no reason to stop running. And now Kevin Correa. Swing and a miss.
Kevin fighting a 5-for-44 slump. Fighting the good fight.
Started in April, didn't it?
It did.
Oh, about April 3rd. It started.
About April 3rd, running on into October. I think he's got them right where they want them.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And he struck him out. Pirates get a run. On a base hit by Barmes. He drives in another one, and the Bucks up 2-0.
McCutchen, the Pirates have a 2-0 lead as we move to the third inning. And, you know, number 22 has done some pretty amazing things this season. But if he had to pick one moment as his favorite, what would it be?
Before the second half started, playing against the Giants and, you know, hitting a couple home runs going into the second half. Just to hear the crowd and to hear, you know, them just being into the game and going into the second half going, you know, we're doing a pretty good job. You know, just going to the second half on a high note, I think definitely was a big thing for me personally.
Of course, that series taking place in early July as Andrew McCutchen and the Pirates finished the first half on fire, taking 2 of 3 from the Giants. He was batting in and around 360, if I'm correct. Yes, I would say that would be one of his higher moments, though he's had several guys.
Absolutely, yeah. That's you hit 2 bombs against a real good team, real good pitcher. Tim Lincecum, I think, threw the first one. And, he's had a lot of moments.
He did. McCutchen ended up with 3 hits in the game, had a base hit in the 6th and scored. He ended up going 3 out of 5 with 4 runs batted in that ball game. Pirates would win that game 13-2.
Yeah, and there was nobody hotter with a bat in Major League Baseball than that man right there for a couple months. Nobody.
A.J. Burnett beat Tim Lincecum that day.
13-2 is pretty convincing,
I would say. That one is past Barnes into center field, and Costanza has a base hit to lead off the Braves' third inning.
So this single allows Hansen to try to bunt him over to second base. See, go off the mound there. I thought it might take that bounce and push it back toward Clint, but hit hard enough where it got into center field. The reason I mentioned Hansen, he's going to have a chance to bunt now. He's had 49 at bats, 30 strikeouts. So you're giving him a break right now.
Costanza, there's an N in there.
Yep, so Costanza, yep.
No relation to George Costanza. On a foul for strike 1 for Tommy Hansen.
Had a chance to see Tommy Hansen when I was in Myrtle Beach. We dedicated part of the clubhouse to Bruce Del Canton, longtime pitching coach down there, former Pirate, just all-time good person.
Bunted firmly, and Jones will just toss to Harrison. Get the out there on the sacrifice bunt, the 9th one of the season for Hansen. That puts Costanza in scoring position at second base.
Hansen was down there at Myrtle Beach just starting his career, and they all knew he was on his way up to the big leagues at that point. Great dedication ceremony for Bruce Del Canton's wife Helene was there. For a great guy, one of the real good people, Bruce Del Canton. Burgettstown area. You miss him to this day.
Michael Bourne back to the top of the order for Atlanta. Ball 1 to Bourne. Struck out swinging in the first inning, 0 for 1. You mentioned Bourne as a base runner too. He's a guy who's stolen 40 bags this year. He is second in stolen bases behind Everth Cabrera of San Diego. Everth had a couple last night to extend his lead by 3 over Bourne to 43 to 40.
And so throwing Michael out last night helped him.
It did.
Perfect throw to second base.
It would appear as though Everth Cabrera is going to run his way to that stolen base crown in the National League. 3 balls and no strikes. He's sitting in between in front of people that
they have no idea
don't
what's
match his colors.
Vendetta in the stands.
There's a strike. I think you got to expect that though when you go to a visitors or go to the home ballpark where the visitors close.
And it's usually a lot of fun. Occasionally it gets out of hand, but most of the time it's in good fun.
There's a strike, and Michael had thrown the bat away. We'll see if this fattens up the strike zone for him.
Well, we'll have to take another look at this, perhaps.
Well, if you're Bourne, you probably want to be swinging on this next pitch.
He had a gripe, but you handle your gripes differently. Throw the bat down. Yeah, you could be up there in a more defensive posture. You take that pitch, and it's called a strike, and you just step out of the box. You don't look at the umpire. He likes that. You might get the next pitch. I'm not saying you're going to get the pitch, but you might. If it's borderline, who knows?
Struck him out
again. Now, Bourne is so unique in that he's got the great speed, and usually those guys are contact hitters and don't strike out. That's number 155 for Michael Bourne. Swings right on through it. 155 strikeouts and 40 steals. That's not a combination you usually see.
Goes to show you, though, he's got some serious talent when he gets on the base paths. Here's Tyler Pasternicki. Ground ball to first, and Jones will take care of it. And the Braves are all done. They get a hit and leave a man. 2.5 innings played at PNC Park. Kevin Correa and the Bucks up 2-0. They lead heading to the plate in the bottom of the third inning. You can own a piece of the game with the Pirates Authentic Merchandise Collection. Add McCutcheon's game-used bat or A.J. Burnett's game-used jersey to your personal collection, along with game-used lineup cards, helmets, bases, and more from your favorite Pirates players. Go to pirates.com/authentics today for more. Marte trying to bunt his way aboard, and he is out.
Fine play by Francisco. Juan Francisco coming in. Really kind of an off-balance throw. You got to do a lot of things right on that play defensively, and he did them all. Good bunt. Bare hand pickup.
That is one tough play to make, and make it well. And to retire the speedy Marte. Alex Presley at the plate, and he will take a strike, but that's going to have to be part of Marte's game going forward too, is the bunting for the base hit, because he's such a valuable base runner.
Well, he's got great speed, and it might force the defense to play him a little more honestly. That could help a ground ball get through if you got to shorten up a little bit.
Breaking ball snuck in there for strike two.
He's going to be fun to watch.
Well, it's going to be a whole different mindset for him heading into spring training this year, knowing that he's made his big league debut. He's had significant big league time, batting at the top of the order. He's done some good things at the major league level, both offensively and defensively. His arm has been on display. Now teams around baseball are aware of it, and it'll just be different. It's got to be different now. He's got to go into the spring training process with the mindset that he's going to be a starter and leadoff guy. I think he has to think that going in.
What it adds is responsibility. You're going to have a wonderful package of talent. Now, it's not potential. But you can only do so much with the time you've had, and he's done a good job with the time he's had so far.
And it could make it tougher on a guy like Presley, who figured to be the everyday left fielder this year. Didn't always work out for him. Neither did it for Jose Tabata. I think the Pirates would like to get more consistency at the top of the order next year and get a more established running game as well, because the running game this year was not where they wanted it to be in terms of stolen bases and being able to put pressure on the defense that way, get more guys in scoring position without giving up outs.
The other side of that coin is we hit a bunch of home runs to balance the risk of a stolen base attempt.
That's true. That's off the glove of Hansen and into center field for a base hit. 1-out single for Alex Presley.
Now the interesting thing with Presley now, with Harrison stealing his base so easily, we just keep trying to do that until the Braves and Hansen and his catcher Ross can show you they can be a little more efficient. It was a gimme stolen base for Josh. It's not unusual that we would just keep doing it until they can show you they can handle it defensively.
McCutchen 0 for 1, but he did drive in a run, his 96th, scoring Marte on a ground ball out in the first inning. First, Presley crawls back to the bag.
Speaking of one, Tommy Hansen has won one game since July 7th.
It's been a struggle for him.
I mean, he was what, 13-4 right out of the chute or something like that, or 12 and something. He won his last start against Miami. He went to 5 1/3, giving up a run. And the Braves certainly thinking that Presley's going to go. Why wouldn't you?
And Hansen also winless during his career in the month of October. Just 2 career starts in October, no wins.
Usually you're thinking bigger things in October than regular season performances.
Well, you know, last year, the way the schedule sat, the regular season didn't bleed into October. It finished up in late September on a Wednesday, like it will tomorrow, finish on a Wednesday, but a week later.
Well, it finished for the Braves late August, pretty much last year. Yeah. The collapse they had. I think the Pirates had a tough September this year. The Braves had the rug pulled out from under them.
Pitch outside and low.
Again, 26 home runs given up by Hansen, National League leader, 31 home runs. So he's on that list. 4th career start against the Bucks, 1-1 so far.
Throw to first again. Presley leaning a little bit. The Pirates want to try to run on Hansen the way that he has his time to the plate and the way that his high leg kick is. He's got a slow delivery.
Well, you just kind of hope that he can concentrate enough on Presley to make a mistake to Andrew. Sometimes that will cause that.
McCutchen to center field and deep. Bourne going back, and on the track, Michael Bourne retires Andrew McCutchen. Back to first goes Presley.
The only problem with that at the center fielder, it's a gap shot down either line. They're both still running. That ball was hit right on the button. Straight away. The straightaway part of it killed Andrew. Ball's hit hard.
Goal for 2 tonight. And with 2 outs, Garrett Jones at the plate. Throw over, and Presley getting a bit of a workout going back and forth.
Well, the Pirates are making noise. Garrett Jones almost left the yard his first time up. A high fly ball to that short porch and right, just didn't have enough on it You don't need a lot. You're just a little bit under it.
There goes Presley, and Jones to Pasternicki makes the leaping grab. And that retires the side. No runs, a hit, a man left. Garrett Jones thought he had a base hit. As Tyler Pasternicki uses his springs to get up there and retire Garrett Jones. He's in his Homestead Grays unit, and he has kind of cornered the market in Pittsburgh on mustache wax, by the way.
Hey, Rick, can you go slow?
He may be the only guy using it at this point in time. Well, lots of folks out here, a bunch of kids on the final night game of 2012. Yeah, look at that.
Hey, Rick, a fixture in his old-time baseball uniform.
Ground ball to Alvarez, and Simmons is out. One quick out to start the fourth. Let's take a look at our AT&T Mobility trivia question.
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Steve?
I am ready. Born ready.
All right, let's see it. There have been 13 Triple Crown winners in the American League and National League. Who is the only player not to be elected into the Hall of Fame? This is a good one. Of course, we've got a possible Triple Crown winner, and looks real good for Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers. First player since 1967, which would be Carl Yastrzemski of the '67 Red Sox, who was the last guy to win it. And Marte on the run, can't get it off the bat of Overbay. That rolls into the north side notch, and Lyle Overbay will settle for a double.
All his career, he has been a two-base machine. Career doubles for Lyle Overbay, it's got to be a big number. The Ed Begley Jr. lookalike.
That's his 10th one this year.
Looks like Marte got a piece of the glove on this ball, trying to slice back toward him. Yep, you can see the direction changes. Oh, now we get the good look. The reach. I guess you need a third cow to die to make that glove a little bit bigger. They are big, and when they're not big enough, they make them bigger.
You hang around the slaughterhouse looking for spare parts?
Yeah.
Outfield gloves are bigger than normal anyway.
Yep, they are, and they got that hinge effect that allows them to lock over, close on the ball.
Now, what do you think, though, Steve, about the Triple Crown? I mean, Miguel Cabrera, the Tigers, and what he's doing, it's incredible.
Well, yeah, because you know a lot of the power guys are not able to maintain the high batting averages through the course of a season. They don't go hand in hand all the time. Very rarely, as a matter of fact.
1-0 pitch. That's fair down to third. Backhanded by Alvarez. Strong throw, and he got him.
Well, I have no clue, but I would think, I'm wondering if it might have been during the war years. Did they even have the Triple Crown back then?
Well, they had batting average, home runs, and RBIs back then.
But I mean, was it recognized as such? The only reason I say that is because maybe the lack of competition. I'm talking around the fact that I don't know. So my answer is
13 winners all time.
Yeah.
12 of the 13 are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
One guy isn't.
That's the only part of the whole thing I understand. I understand that part, but not the answer.
Well, we can eliminate one guy because the last guy to do it is in the Hall of Fame. Yastrzemski.
Mickey Mantle did it, didn't he? He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Dick Williams, who passed away last summer, Hall of Fame manager, told me one time about Yaz because he managed that '67 Red Sox team. Told me that before or since he'd never seen a player locked in as from wire to wire.
Yeah, that's 6 months lock.
A 1 pitch. That's high and outside. Keep in mind, there's a guy who had the 70, 71, 72 A's. Swinging A's.
Yeah.
World champion team. He managed a lot of places. But again, 67 Red Sox, they were known as the Cardiac Kids. One. That's slapped to the opposite field. It's going to get down and roll into the corner. Juan Francisco.
They haven't missed a beat so far tonight with not having Chipper Jones in the lineup. He's made a spectacular defensive play, and then he knocks in the first Atlanta run. Francisco playing a good third base.
2 men out and 1 run in. And it's a 2-1 ball game.
Outside pitch. Takes it away. Let him try to pull it. And there's his reward.
See how the ball kicks off on the spin. That's what Reed Johnson experienced last night when Marte hit his triple. He wasn't anticipating that spin off that second carom.
What happens to the padding is soft, so it'll accept that spin and just spit it out. I would think concrete would counteract the spin. You'd get maybe a truer bounce, but it's that soft stuff. It just maintains the spin.
Pitch to Baker. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Jeff Baker struck out swinging in the second inning. And now comes up with 2 down in the tying run in scoring position. Oh-2. Outside, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. But the Triple Crown, again, getting back to that, it's got to be one of the hardest things to accomplish in baseball.
Now, do I get a clue? Was it during the war years by any chance?
It was during a war year, yes. Yeah. It was one of the war years, but that's not part of that. We don't have to answer that as a question, which year.
Okay.
And not necessarily which war we're talking about. The War of 1812.
Well, there's been a lot of wars.
What year was that one?
1812 is.
That should have been tonight's trivia question. You might have had a shot.
Might have. Might have.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Jeff Baker.
Okay, I'm going to guess Al Rosen.
Al Rosen?
Because he's a favorite player. Probably wrong, but he's a favorite player. Number 10, no mistaking who that is.
One of the preeminent switch hitters of all time right there. Get a chance to see him play one more time tomorrow before heading on to the postseason. But still getting it done at a fairly high level. A guy who's going out, it's not like he can't play.
Well, but he has his standards, and that helps make that decision.
3-2. He got him looking. Baker strikes out for the second time tonight. Braves, though, strike for a run and cut the lead in half. It's a 2-1 lead for the Bucks. with Dan Potash and Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett, and well, we've got another member in our booth.
Yeah,
we're going to introduce here and reintroduce in just a second.
Yeah, I've been telling him to go to the same barber I go to for years. Finally took me up on it.
Former Pirates shortstop Jack Wilson with us, who was with the Braves not too long ago. Jack, great to see you.
Hey, it's good to see you guys. It's been a long time.
You're coming in to kind of see what's going on in Pittsburgh and see Chipper Jones?
Yeah, it's been, kind of crazy just watching him the whole year and kind of going through all the cities and all the gifts he's getting and just watching him go about his business has been a real pleasure. So, but we've had this date and this series circled for quite a long time here. So, even though we weren't going to be able to make it as a player, me and Julie definitely wanted to come out.
Yeah, and we were talking about it the other day. Remember the day in San Francisco when the Pirates traded you to Seattle, and it was and Freddie was left there in San Francisco that day. Just kind of a real bittersweet day, but it's part of the business of baseball. You moved on from the Mariners and ended up with the Braves. How did things go for you after you left the Pirates?
It didn't go too well. It was always tough. I always felt kind of out of place. Just been here for so long, and my career started here. And it just never felt like home everywhere I was. Even in Seattle, I was there for 2 years, and then, for a full year in Atlanta. It never felt the same like it was here. And then kind of going to that bench role, that's when everything kind of didn't work out too well.
Well, this city embraced you, Jack.
Well, Pedro hits this one deep to right center field. That's going to bounce off the wall, and Alvarez around first into second base, and Pedro in with his 25th double. And Pedro, since you last played with him, has developed into a pretty good power hitter.
I loved watching what happened with Pedro and McCutchen, both hitting 30 homers, especially him. He's had some up and down times since he's been up, and I just remember him. The first year he got signed in the first round, and all the expectation. He was such a great kid. You love to see guys when you're kind of a veteran guy. You love to see when high school guys come in or college guys who have these big names and they got this big paycheck, and to have guys like Andrew McCutchen, Neil Walker, and Pedro, they were my all-time favorites. Just because they came in and they wanted to learn, and there was no ego. It was all about baseball for them. So it's great to see how they've done it.
Josh Harrison moves Pedro over to third base with a ground ball to Pasternicki at second. Now, how closely? I know being away from the Pirates, this is still home for you.
Yeah.
How closely did you follow him, and how much were you cheering for him over the last couple of seasons when you saw him in first place and trying to move up?
When I left here, I wrote a little letter to everybody and said how much I was going to be a fan. And every morning in the sports page, wherever I was, that's the first thing I looked at was the Pirates score, because I was just so excited for last year, and then it kind of fell at the end. And then for this year, I thought for sure this was going to be it, because they were just fantastic. They came into Atlanta. It was a 4-game set, and they looked real good for the 4 games. When we ended up going 2-2, but I thought definitely they had the team. They were playing great. The city, every time you saw them on TV, the place was packed. I mean, it was awesome, and I was just really, really excited. I was really excited to come here with the hopes of both these teams being in it, at the same time at the end of the year. And obviously, what happened is just it's tough, but at the same time, there's such a bright future for this group right here that I'm very excited about.
Well, Jack,
this city really embraced you.
I loved it.
It was a relationship rather than just player and fans.
It definitely was. That's what kind of makes it so special to come back, and even just come back. And yesterday, I had no idea what to expect. I don't even know if they would recognize me. I do have much shorter hair.
We knew what to expect.
But it was fun.
Yeah,
it was. I'll always cherish the time I had here, and I hope to be back much more often.
Well, Jack was part of the last Pirates triple play in 2009 in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And the author of so many circus catches and great acrobatic plays that brought people to their feet time and time again here in Pittsburgh. And it's great to see you, Jack. And now. As Kevin's up there with 2 strikes, you get 10 seconds. What's next for you?
Just right now, just focus on being dad, being a husband, and they've been chasing me for 10 years, 12 years. What I've been doing this, playing this game. So it's time for me to chase them around.
All right.
There you go.
Jack, great seeing you, man.
Yeah, you guys, thanks for having me.
Jack, always good to see you, man.
With us here in the booth, as Kevin Correa has an 0-2 count on him. He's on first and third. That one's outside for a ball. But certainly, this guy. Some nights when Jack was playing short, he should have had that shirt on right there, the way that he could go get the baseball. And the 1-ball 2-strike pitch coming. And Kevin fouls it back. But yeah, great to see Jack. Jack was here last night, sitting behind the plate, getting a chance to see Chipper Jones. And I talked to Paul Mulholland today about that, about getting an opportunity, at least for a couple of months, for him to see a future Hall of Famer go on his farewell tour and what that was like. And they're really enjoying it. All the guys who have an opportunity to be around it. Correa strikes out, and that is the inning. Pirates strand 2. We'll go to the 5th. Pirates 2, Braves 1.
Thanks to former Pirate Jack Wilson, who was kind enough to join us in the booth. And in case you forgot, let's go back to 2001 when Jack made his major league debut. Remember, he came out of nowhere to make the club out of spring training. This was his very first major league game at Cincinnati. Nice play at short. Got a base knock. Would also then make his debut against the Reds at PNC Park, and was a fixture at shortstop for the next, 8-9 years? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, fan favorite, good dude, and also from Southern California. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. I think Thousand Oaks.
That's correct.
Yeah. He and Freddie Sanchez played a little bit in the summer during high school.
Teammates, weren't they?
They were teammates, and Freddie was the shortstop, and Jack was the second baseman. And then it turned around in the big leagues.
Yeah. I think they were both pretty capable of either position.
Yeah.
Came down to it.
Both Wild Pirates very involved in community endeavors. Jose Constanza leads off, and he takes a strike from Kevin Correa.
Yep, it's one of those situations you wind up heading toward the middle part of the ball game where you want to keep him off the base path, so you have a second easy out, if you will. You get him, then you got Hansen, who doesn't swing the bat very well at all. If you don't get him out, then you allow Hansen to bunt again.
1-1 pitch. And that's on the corner for a strike.
So far, Mr. Welke's a little bit of a pitcher's umpire behind home plate.
I think you'd like to
yes,
have him. Right?
He's doing a fine job. Fine job.
1-2 pitch. Did he go? No, says third base umpire Jeff Nelson.
Matthew McHenry trying to sell that deal. No sale. Winker came up ready to throw to third base. As they say on Saturdays, not so fast, my friend.
Get to start watching that stuff again.
Yeah.
This, college football stuff.
A little different than our pregame show. Were they 6-7 hours?
Yeah. Yeah, they need all that time. Over the head of Correa, diving stop by Harrison. He's throwing too late, but what a job just to get to the baseball.
Effort being applauded by the fans here.
Infield single for Constanza. He's aboard in the top of the fifth.
A high chop that Josh does everything he possibly do, but at that point, when you're down there flat on your belly, you really can't do much in terms of getting the out. But A for effort. Pretty athletic move to get himself turned around and get the throw off.
Well, he's done a good job, 2 for 2, leading off innings and getting on in front of the pitcher, giving Hansen a chance to sacrifice him over. And if he can do that successfully, then the Braves with 1 out would have the tying run in scoring position. So as a number 8 hitter, and again, Jack Wilson knows from being the number 8 hitter, there are different challenges. It's different in the National League, obviously, than in the American League, being a number 8 hitter. Runner on his way to second base as the bunt is put in fair territory, and Correa lobs it over to Harrison for the out, and the scenario developing. Our AT&T mobility trivia question, complete with answer. It's a tough one tonight. There have been 13 Triple Crown winners in the American League and National League. Who is the only player not to be elected into the Hall of Fame of those 13? Paul Hines.
Oh, come on.
1878. Which war was going on in 1878?
The War of 1878.
358.
Thanks a lot,
with
fellas, for my last trivia.
Home runs.
My last trivia.
He won the Triple Crown with 4 home runs. Michael Bourne hits this one to left field. Right there is Starling Marte. I mean, you know, you want to have an easy one on the last night we're doing TV together, Steve, but that one.
Even if I guessed Gregory Hines, it wouldn't have been right. So I'm 0 for 2012.
Well, Gregory Hines couldn't hit the curveball. That was the problem.
No, he couldn't. 0 for 12.
Here's Tyler Pasternicki. Pasternicki, a friendly sort. He was bouncing around the Braves clubhouse today, and I walked in the clubhouse door. I was in there for maybe 10 seconds. He walked over and gave me, knuckles. Hey, how you doing? But good. Welcome. Thank you. But he's a real friendly sort. Getting a chance to play tonight. With the Pirates' win last night, that clinched the Eastern Division for the Washington Nationals, who are tied with Philadelphia tonight, 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th. So the Braves know that they are settled into that top wild card spot. They'll host that wild card game. And as a result of that, they have made a pitching change for tomorrow. As Tim Hudson was scheduled to oppose A.J. Burnett tomorrow, but now they'll hold Hudson out in the event that they need him for game 1 of the LDS. And Ben Sheets will go tomorrow instead against Burnett.
Remember Ben Sheets, all those years with the Brewers? He was a really good pitcher for a lot of years.
And Chris Medlin's going to go in the play-in game.
They never lose with Medlin.
No, he's been their best. So, and this is the way that the wild card handicaps you. You have to use your best in that game because it's one and done. You've got to win that game, and you have to give yourself every opportunity. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. I was talking to one of the Braves today. I said, who would you rather play, Dodgers or the Cardinals? And he told me, he said, I'd like to have the Cardinals tie the Dodgers, because if there is a tiebreaker game, it would be in Los Angeles. And then if the Cardinals would win, or either team wins, they'd have to fly cross country back to Atlanta to play the next day. So if the playoffs began today, it would be Atlanta and St. Louis. And Washington would await the winner of that game. Cincinnati would play San Francisco.
It looks like a rather incomplete bracketing program.
In the air to right, and there is Alex Presley waiting for it.
Good job, Kevin.
Halfway home at PNC Park, Kevin Correa's got a 2-1 lead. Your Buckos all season long on Root Sports. We're giving away a Pirates prize pack every game this series when you interact with us on Game Connect. Just log on to Game Connect at rootsports.com and chat through Game Talk, or email us in the booth during the game to automatically be entered to win a jersey, autographed Pirates baseball, and more. Rootsports.com for more details and official rules. Thanks for watching your Bucks on Root Sports this season. 0-1 to Starling Marte. There's Tommy Hanson. It's set to deliver the pitch. That is outside. Talked about having a nice night here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's Harvest Moon there.
That is beautiful, isn't it?
It was full Saturday night, but still a lot left. That's pretty. That time of year. Got some changes for the Braves. Eric Hinsky takes over in left. Michael Bourne departs, and Constanza moves from left to center.
Eric Hinsky always seems to find his way into the postseason, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Who was it? Lonnie Smith that used to be in the World Series all the time.
Hinsky has made the last out of a World Series. He was with the Tampa Bay Rays and they lost to Philadelphia. Brad Lidge struck him out to end the series. There are always guys who make the last out, like you did, like Kent Tekulve did. And Marte drops it into right field for a base hit. But you guys made the last out and got to celebrate. You know, there are a lot of guys who make the last out and don't get to celebrate.
Yeah.
There's a guy that's been put out or making the last out is never the good thing. You don't want to be the guy who makes the last out of a series. But Hinsky's done it.
Well, it was tough for Merv Redmond to get around the pile when he made the last out at first base because everybody was congregating over there.
Well, that ground ball kicked off the side of the mound over to Jackie Hernandez, and made the throw to first, and then that was that. But
that was it. Yeah, you want to be on the winning side. That's the way you do it.
Leadoff single by Marte, and he dives back to first.
And you want to open this thing up. Pirates won it 2-1 last night.
You have the feeling that we're going to see Marte run here, first opportunity?
I don't know. He's got just a decently, not a big lead. They're convinced. Right now, you've got a big old hole between first and second for Presley, with Overbay having to hold Marte on.
All right, he's stolen 10 bases over a short period of time. And it'd be nice to see what he can do over a full season. How many he can rack up. I mean, can he get to the 40 steal level in a full major league season? Perhaps.
Yeah, the thing you don't want to do, and we all appreciate his talent, we don't want to lay too much on him either. Let him get his feet on the ground, but he's capable of those things.
There he goes. Pitches a ball. The throw not there. Gets away from him.
Don't go anywhere.
And Marte in with stolen base number 11.
Yeah, they were convinced, and off he went. That's not a great jump. That's a lot of speed, and combine that with a bad throw, you got a stolen base. See the pitcher? Yeah, he didn't get a lot of steps before that pitch was released. But, speed forces defensive players to do strange things sometimes, like bad throws. First time up in this kind of situation, Alex Presley was able to hit the ball on the correct side of the infield and move Marte.
Presley to left center field. That's going to get Marte in. Alex going for second base. An RBI double, and the Pirates lead it 3-1.
That's what you want to do for a while. Switch places at second base for about 20 minutes. That ball had two bases written all over it the minute it left the bat, because it was not really drilled, but it was beautifully placed and sliding over to Hinsky, who doesn't have a great arm. I don't think anybody's going to throw Alex out at second base. Perfectly placed.
Andrew McCutchen has driven in 1 run here, his 96th of the season. Will he get another? That was just foul.
He really stung the ball last time up, but it was right at the center fielder Bourne.
I'd like to see him pick up 2 quick ones here. Have to hit one over the wall to do it. He's down on the count, 0-2, and David Ross got the worst of that.
And we're going to have some time here for a moment. There is a group in the ballpark called Bring Home 100. Dennis Bear, the Dennis Bear Foundation, former professional baseball player here in the city, and he's done a wonderful thing by setting up the Bring Home 100 for missing children. In fact, Rocky Blyer, myself, and Neil Walker, we had a chance to do a spot that showed up on the scoreboard. And Dennis and his foundation have done wonderful things. They're in the ballpark tonight, and we wish them all the best, continued success. That's a wonderful project, wonderful goals. Dennis Bear.
Ross is okay. He's back behind the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Andrew McCutchen. Presley, the runner at second base. It's a 3-1 Pirate lead, bottom of the 5th. Nobody out. Strike 3. McCutchen is now 0 for 3 tonight.
And that not only hurts for Andrew, it hurts for the ball club, as you want to at least move the runner from second to third. Breaking ball, slider, on the outside part of the plate. That's a perfecto. That's a pitcher's pitch. You got to tip your cap to Hansen. Strikeout number 4.
One out for Garrett Jones. Jones gave the Braves a little scare in the first inning when he flied out very deep to right field. Jeff Baker went back on the warning track and right in front of the Clemente wall hauled it in.
Almost got one over the head of Persnickety at second base. Or Pasternicki, I'm sorry.
I'm glad you corrected yourself.
Well, I've been fighting with pronouncing this young man's name all night. Pasternicki.
2-0 to Jones. This one's hammered up in the air and deep to right field. Way back and gone. Home run. Garrett Jones, number 27. And the Pirates lead it 5-1.
And you knew that one was gone when it left. Talk about the Pirates wanting to work on their stolen bases. Well, if they continue to hit home runs like they did this year, they won't be forced to. And that ball up in the zone, and number 27 given up by Tommy Hansen. That was as good an opportunity as Garrett was going to have.
Well, the Pirates now with 170 home runs hit this season. They are 1 shy of the club record of 171, hit in 1999. They have out-homered the opposition 67-58 at home this year. A towering fly ball by Garrett Jones. RBIs 85 and 86 for Garrett.
Matching 27s given up by Hansen, hit by Jones.
0-2 pitch. And a wave and a miss by McHenry. And Michael is out on strikes for the second time tonight. Garrett had hit a deep ball in the first inning. It didn't get out. And this one had a lot of height, but he had enough depth to it as well.
And some of the folks talking to in the Braves camp, Tim, talking about maybe a lack of velocity for Tommy Hanson later on in the season, that perhaps he's throwing a little harder, able to keep people a little more honest earlier when he was pitching so very well.
Pedro loops one into left center field. That's getting down for a base hit. And Alvarez has 2 hits. He's 2 for 3.
And loosening up a right-hander in the Atlanta bullpen. As we said, Tommy Hanson has won 1 game since July the 7th, as you see the action.
Christian Martinez. One to Harrison. Josh was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, came around to score on an RBI single by Barmes after Jay Hay stole second base. 2 outs in the 0-1. Foul tip, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Josh Harrison. Pedro Alvarez at first base. Alvarez now has his average at 260. That's the highest it's been all year. Go to first, and Pedro gets back. Well, and at the end of the day, it's not how, it's how many. And when you look at his home runs and base hits and where the average is going to be, I think people will be pretty satisfied with the numbers that Pedro Alvarez put up this year.
He's come a long way.
Popped up to left center field. Constanza gets under it. He'll make the catch and he'll retire the side. But the Bucks put 3 on the board on 4 hits, and Garrett Jones going big fly to right field over the Clemente wall for home run number 27. 5-1 Pirates heading to the 6th.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. We're driven to be better. By PNC Bank for the achiever in you. And by Chevy Cruze, which offers EPA estimated 42 mpg highway. Let's go Bucks!
Pirates with a 5-1 lead, and Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop, takes a pitch inside 1-0. Garrett Jones, 2-run shot. Continuing to climb in terms of production. What a year he's had. It's been a career year for Garrett Jones. correct one thing I said about Pedro Alvarez average. I had him at 260, but that's his average at home, 244. Still about the highest he's been all year.
And no taking back the fact that it has been a giant step forward for Pedro.
Simmons, a bouncer to Barnes. One out for the Braves in the 6th.
Now, Tim, we received some bad news this morning. Frank Thomas, longtime Pirate, his wife Dolores passed away early this morning. She had been ill, and I want to send along our thoughts to the Thomas family and friends. Dolores, a lot of alumni functions and gatherings. Frank, we send our thoughts out to you and your family. Sorry to hear that news. The original Frank Thomas, by the way, as Frank signs his autographs.
One of 3 Pirate third basemen to have 30 homers in a season or more. Frank Thomas, Aramis Ramirez, and Pedro Alvarez. Lyle Overbay, a 1-0 count. 2 balls and no strikes. Overbay doubled and scored in the 4th. Kevin Correa in his final outing of 2012, perhaps his final outing as a Pirate. That still remains to be seen, but
good outing it is.
He is pitching very, very well. Got a strike on Overbay now, 2-1. Shift is on for Overbay, the 3 infielders on the right, and Alvarez actually shading the bag as a shortstop. So there's a ton of room on the left side of the infield for Overbay.
Now Kevin Correa looking for his 5th straight year of double-figure wins. 5 years in a row.
Looking for a dozen. He had a dozen last year. It's a career high for him. Sitting at 11-11 coming into this one. Overbay doesn't go to left very often. Center field more, and right field he'll pull some.
Every batting coach loves to see that number there. Most of the hits straight away.
This one to center and deep. On the run, McCutchen in left center field as that ball kept tailing away. McCutchen tracks it down. Long run for Andrew McCutchen to retire Lyle Overbay.
He's in that category of the exciters. He can basically outrun the baseball in those kind of situations. You give him a little bit of height and he will run it down. Well hit with a little slide on it. Big part of the ballpark. Andrew knows it well. Back pocket. That could be a real fun tandem to watch play in left and center for a few years here at PNC Park.
This one past the diving Alvarez into left field. Starling Marte will come up with it. David Ross with a base hit. He's now 1 for 3, a 2-out single. Well, you talk about the speed of Marte and McCutchen alone, and the way that left field is configured here, you have to have speed to cover all the ground that's out there and take away runs, as opposed to maybe you say you have a big basher in left field and allow him to make it up by run production.
That's a lot of acreage.
But you got to take him away, and that's why you need speed in this particular outfield. So you see Boscanos out there to pinch run for Ross. And Juan Francisco back up for the 3rd time. He's 1 for 2. Pirates with a 3 spot in the 5th. You mean I can't chant Larry anymore? Of course, that's directed at Chipper Jones. His first name is Larry.
Yeah, you can.
Clint Hurdle was telling me yesterday, doing the pregame radio show with Clint, talking about Chipper Jones. He said when he managed him in the 2008 All-Star game, got to know him a little bit, and he said that, you know, if you call him Larry, it'll cause him to snap his head around and he'll take a look. You know, he will answer to it.
Mm-hmm.
But fans around baseball will chant the name Larry, Larry. But his parents here again tonight and watching Chipper down the stretch. They were there at the very beginning, and they're going to be there at the very end.
Yeah, that's just a great way to package this whole thing with his folks being there.
ball and 2 strikes. Boscan getting off of first base. Held on by Garrett. Now the 1-2. Got him looking. Strike 3 call.
Paint the outside corner.
And Kevin Correa with his 5th strikeout. Pirates a 5-1 lead. Interesting story, no question about it. Pirates bench coach Jeff Bannister, he had one big league at bat and
base hit
1 for 1.
I believe it was in Houston.
No, it was against the Braves.
That's what I thought.
Here, same game that John Wayner went 5 for 5. 1-0 pitch. Barmas pops it up. You changed your mind awfully quick.
Well, I meant to say Braves.
Well, let's look back at it. We've got the proof on video, Steve. July 23rd, Three Rivers Stadium. And an infield single for Banny. And of course, Jeff Bannister had multiple injury issues throughout the course of his career, multiple surgeries.
Good to see him in the big leagues.
Yep.
Either way,
a really good guy. That's a pup night here tonight. Man's best friend is here.
You know, Tim, I get to start to give my thanks. It's my last TV game, and we start down in the truck with Pete and Christian, all the guys down there. We got one of the neat things. We got a new fella that we expect good things from. Just hired by the Pirates. I think recently got a chance to meet him last night. Jason Steele, and I think he's got a future. He's a good-looking, good lad.
Well,
and I think he'll do well.
You're talking about the guy we call the Brain, right? You do know he's been here for 4 seasons, or about 4 seasons, right? 3.5 seasons.
Jason has?
Yeah.
He's done a heck of a job.
Yeah.
You know, kind of under the radar a little bit.
He comes up here every day. He gives me this sheet every day. We talk about this stuff every day. And you're sitting here every day.
Yeah. Good looking fellow. I think he's got a future. I think he'll do it. Looking forward to working with him.
Yeah. Steve's paying attention. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Marte. That's up here, up high.
But seriously, the help down there is appreciated, because I have no clue what I'm.
The hired help?
No, the help they're giving me.
Oh, okay. You know, I think Jason Steele made his debut shortly after Andrew McCutchen did. So just so you know.
Roof back at you.
Attaboy.
Looking
pretty attractive dog, huh?
Yeah. So it's obvious to me now I can't be serious in my thank yous, but all the folks that make this happen.
Sick 'em, sick Steve.
I'm trying to be serious, and you're showing these dogs barking. I don't know what's going on. I've lost control here. Again. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. It is appreciated. It's been a fun season. Most of it.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Marte.
It was so great in the first 4 months, telling people I can go out in public again.
I heard you wrote a book.
Yeah, where have you been?
I was wondering why everybody kept giving you these things to sign all season long.
Yeah, we're well past that. It was a flurry of activity, a lot of fun. As Don Rickles will say, it's over. Here's a cookie. Go home.
Marte fouls off the 2-2 pitch. Yeah, the Gypsies in the trailer do a great job with us, and I don't know, is that a cat or a dog? I think that dog's a little nervous.
Those eyes, I'd like to have some of what he's had.
Marte with a base hit. And Starling Marte with a 3-hit game. The dogs love it.
Sounds like the end zone at the Browns Stadium.
Dog pound.
We'll let the dogs out. Somebody stirred them up. There's a Doberman somewhere. I shouldn't say that. Dobermans are fine dogs.
Got his cap on and his scarf. I like the dogs when they're decked out in their bucko gear. Alex Presley takes a ball.
Now you've got me all befuddled here. What did Kevin Correa do? I know Marte got the hit.
He struck out.
Okay.
Swinging.
Up to date. Yes.
So you see Boskin's back there behind the plate. Steve just noticed. 1-0 pitch. And Presley will go around on that one. 1-1. We'll have a little fun on the last night game. You and I get to relive the festivities tomorrow on radio. Greg and Bob in here for the final TV game tomorrow afternoon, 12:35.
They'll be all business.
Oh, yeah. Bob comes to the games 5 hours before to prepare, poring over statistics.
Well, he's got that briefcase with all the stats and the research.
He will finish. He'll finish strong. It doesn't matter if it's game 162. He'll treat it like it's game 1.
He's thanking everybody down in the truck.
There goes Marte. The throw down, not in time. The second stolen base of the night for Starling Marte. He's got 12 on the year. And this is the running game the Pirates expect to have. 2 from Marte. They got another one from Harrison tonight.
Better jump. You try to have some kind of an idea how many steps they've taken by the time the ball is released. This time, several steps. The previous time was pretty much speed and a bad throw. This time he gets a good break, early break, and he's in comfortably. You take a look at the night Marte has had. 3 for 4, and they made a heck of a play to retire him on the bunt. He's had a great night.
Presley yanks this one foul. I almost had to get up and take the headset off when you made the comment about the dog's eyes a while ago. I'll have what he's having. That took me a minute to calm down from that one.
Very scholarly look.
He's pretty serious about his baseball. I think it's great. You know, you spend so much time with your dog. Your dog's one of your best friends. You get to bring him to the park, he or she.
I can't believe there hasn't been more fights with the dogs. They seem to be well behaved and enjoying the game.
The payoff pitch coming to Presley. Slapped foul out of play. I remember some of the jokes you told tonight, because we tell them again tomorrow on radio. Be a different audience. And I'll laugh again like I've heard them for the first time.
You've been very kind throughout the year, by the way, Tim. I appreciate that after having heard most of them 17 times.
But there are people out there who haven't heard them.
There might be one or two. Not many.
Again, the payoff to Presley from Hansen. It's over the mound. And Pastornicki throws him out. Going to the 7th inning at PNC Park. Great night for the Dogs and the Bucks. Cable subscribers from the Clarksburg area in Harrison County, West Virginia. Thanks for watching and rooting for your Pittsburgh Pirates. All of us at Root Sports and the Pirates appreciate your support. Let's go Bucks. Bucks are going tonight. 5-1 lead. Correa's still in there. A beautiful harvest moon on the 2nd day of October. Very pleasant night at the park. Season ends really literally in a few hours. And the Pirates will play game 3 of this series tomorrow afternoon, 12:35, an early start on the final day as the moon rises over PNC Park scoreboard. Friends of yours, Steve?
Every Pirate fan is a friend of mine, and their puppies. Nice set of puppies there.
Brandon Harrison for the out. Join the Bucks tomorrow as they host the Atlanta Braves at 12:35. All PNC Bank customers who use their PNC check card get up to $10 off outfield box, lower outfield box, baseline seats, or grandstand seats. Purchase tickets at the PNC Park ticket window or visit pirates.com/PNC check card. Now look at those hats.
Those some Buccaneers there.
Looks like Jack Sparrow.
Pedro Alvarez picks it up and he throws out Jose Constanza. And there are 2 out in the top half of the 7th. That's a well-dressed dog. Reed Johnson will hit for Hansen. Reed Johnson coming out to pinch hit. He's done a good job as a pinch hitter this year. 17 pinch hits. Top guys in the game doing that. 4.05 is his average as a pinch hitter. Former Chicago Cub.
He has done some serious damage against the Pirates throughout his career. Hansen goes 6 innings, gives up 5 earned runs on 9 hits, walked a batter, struck out 6.
Johnson waits, and the 0-1 pitch. Tries to bunt, and that caught the umpire flush. Bill Welke got that ball, and that had to hurt.
And he will have his partners come in and check on him. Pirate trainer Jeff Nelson.
Nelson, the crew chief, coming over to see how he's doing. Tom Zak, Pirate trainer, checking in on Welke. Todd smiling, Welke smiling, so it can't be too serious. He just probably needs a minute.
Yeah, he might be talking funny right now, too.
Meanwhile, Kevin Correa is putting
terrific.
up good numbers. And Welke's okay. He'll go back behind the plate.
Activity in the Pirate bullpen as Kevin Correa will approach 100 pitches.
And Chris Rhysop in the bullpen, also Justin Wilson. Pitch to Johnson. And that is lined over the head of Harrison into center field. He's got his 18th pinch hit of the season. 2-out single.
Continues his work against the Pirates. The only thing different about Reed Johnson, he's gotten rid of the facial hair. But his work against the Pirates is still impressive.
He had a full beard going last night, and saw him today in the Braves clubhouse and didn't recognize him. But that's going to be it for Kevin Correa. Will this be his final appearance as a Pittsburgh Pirate? It's his final appearance, certainly as a starting pitcher in 2012, and Clint Hurdle will get the ball.
Well-deserved round of applause.
And a standing ovation, and well-deserved for Kevin Correa. Kevin Correa is done. He's in line for a win, and Justin Wilson coming on for the Bucs. On this early October evening.
I need a little patchwork on the paneling up there, but other than that,
little drywall kit.
Yep.
Well, Kevin Correa, no patchwork needed for him tonight. 6 2/3, 5 strikeouts, in line for the win as he leaves the game with a 5-1 lead, looking for his 12th victory of the season. Nice job by Correa.
Wilson in perhaps to pitch to one batter.
And he's pitching to Eric Hinsky.
Justin Wilson has pitched 4 innings, has recorded 7 strikeouts.
No balls and 1 strike the count. And the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Reinforce those strikeout to the few innings he's pitched. 4 1/3, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. And he's got a situation now. It's really good for him. He's got a big breaking ball. He can stay out of the strike zone. He's 0-2. He's already got Eric to chase 1 bad pitch. Stay out of the hitting zone. And I mean the hitting zone and hit batter zone also. If that's a purpose pitch, it was well done. Now he can go back outside. That's part of the plan. Ryan's schedule.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Hinsky. 2 men out. And looks at it inside. 2-2. Hinsky has been in the postseason with 3 different teams in 3 different years. 2007 with Boston when they swept Colorado in the World Series. 2008 he was on the losing end against Philadelphia. 2009 he was with the Yankees against the Phillies. Started 2009 with the Pirates. And Hinsky, a line drive to short center field. McCutchen's not going to get it. And the Braves are going to get a run perhaps out of this. Throw is... Oh, he got him! He got him! Reed Johnson tagged out.
Great play by Michael McHenry to keep track of the ball and the runner. Well done.
Terrific relay as McHenry with the tag out to throw a little bit up the line, and Michael was able to put the tag on the leaping Reed Johnson.
And he tried a Jason Kendall. It didn't work.
Justin Wilson has to like it. 7th inning stretch presented by the new face of Northwood Realty Services. Stretch time, Pirates 5 and the Braves 1. One Pirates leading the Braves, bottom of the 7th. 5 runs on 9 hits. 1-7-0 the line for Atlanta. Andrew McCutchen will lead off against the new pitcher. Christian Martinez, Michael McHenry, right place, right time, positioned well, made the tag on the jumping Reed Johnson to record the final out of the top of the 7th inning.
I mentioned Kendall because Jason Kendall back in the day in San Diego was able to jump over the San Diego catcher, come back and slap home plate in one of the most spectacular plays. Andrew's not able to get it. Presley. With the relay on into Michael McHenry in a spectacular out.
Clint Barnes, a good relay throw. 1-0 pitch. This one fouled back. Here's a deal on the batting title. Okay, here's the numbers that we need. McCutchen has to go 8 for his last 8. That would put him at 337.68. If Buster Posey stays right where he is, he's at 335.87. So there is still a mathematical chance, but McCutchen has to be unconscious now for his next 8 at bats. And there's
well, we know he's capable. We saw it in June or July or both.
Yeah.
That out. Hard to do. Hard to do.
So as the immortal Lloyd Christmas once said, so you're telling me there's a chance. Reed Johnson remains in the game and plays right field for Atlanta.
Where did Baker go? No. No. Okay. I'll tell you about Baker in a minute.
Pastor Nicky goes over to shortstop. Christian Martinez on the hill, the 1-2. And strike 3. McCutchen didn't like it. He goes down looking. He's gone down looking twice tonight, and he is 0 for 4.
Another ball. That was just like the ball Hansen delivered, right in the same exact space. Same spot to get a strikeout. 2 perfectos, one by Hansen, now one by Martinez.
Jones hits this one up in the air deep to center field. Going back is Constanza, and on the warning track they'll make the catch. Jones now 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer tonight.
Okay, there's Jeff Baker in from right field to play second base. And Christian Martinez, his numbers as he replaces Tommy Hansen. Two quick outs in the 7th.
Michael McHenry waving a miss. 0-1 to count to the 4th. 2 down, bottom of the 7th. Pirates with a single run in the 1st inning, single run in the 2nd, and put 3 up in the 5th.
That's how you have to defend a fort in a lot of different ways, don't you? They're trying to storm the walls and come over the top. Well, that's what they tried, and it didn't work.
Tried to go around the fort. That didn't work.
Yeah. Fort was well defended.
0-2 pitch. Ripped down to third. Backhanded nicely by Francisco. Throw gets away, and McHenry is safe.
I was wondering if that throw was going to hit Michael McHenry heading down there.
Error on the throw from Francisco.
Does a good job getting to it on the backhand side. Yeah, this can be damaging to a first baseman and a runner. Ball starts tailing back into that traffic. E5.
Look on the AGH cam, slowing it down for you as it does every night. It's really a neat way to see it. So McHenry at first, 2 men out, and Pedro at the plate. Pedro's 2 for 3. He goes the other way toward the notch. Eric Hinsky will reach up and make the catch. That'll do it for the Pirates in the 7th. On to the 8th at PNC Park.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Jeep. Now get a great deal on a legendary Jeep vehicle at the Jeep Summer Clearance Event. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Levin Furniture and the all-new Levin Mattress Stores. For a great deal on a new bed, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
It's 5-1 Pirate lead, top of the 8th inning. Here in game 2 of this 3-game season-ending series. Our Allegheny Sports Medicine injury update for the Angels. C.J. Wilson done for the rest of the season. Not much left in it. Bone spurs in his left elbow. He'll have surgery in the offseason. 13-10 and 34 starts. A big offseason acquisition coming over from the Rangers. C.J. Wilson, our subject tonight of the AGH Sports Medicine injury update. Beautiful sky tonight over Pittsburgh as we get ready to conclude the season tomorrow. This is game number 161. Chris Resop on the pitch, becomes the third pitcher used tonight. Takes over for Justin Wilson, 1/3 of an inning. And got the final out of the top half of the 7th. Resop will face Tyler Pasternicki. Resop finally ready to throw. Here's the pitch. That's down low for a ball. Resop, a former Atlanta Brave. I think that's where he was right before the Pirates got him. Pasternicki 0 for 3. Started the game at second base, now playing shortstop. And he goes to right field for an opposite field single. With nobody out and a man aboard, Braves will send up a pinch hitter, Freddie Freeman, their normal first baseman. And yeah, both members of the fan club are here. I'm sure Freddie's feeling pressure to perform in front of him. He's 2 for 13 career as a pinch hitter. And Freddie's done a real good job at first base for Atlanta. And a big reason they are where they are. Heading to the postseason again. The Braves, it seemed for a long time, were a perennial contender in the postseason.
The division run they had was phenomenal. Was it 14 years or 13 years, straight years?
14, I think.
A bunch.
When you go to Turner Field, all those flags are lined up in the outfield. Just count them up. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from McHenry, but Pasternicki stays put at first base. 0-2 to Freeman.
Freeman with 23 home runs, 94 ribbies. That's more than solid.
Resop's got the sign. McHenry setting up outside. Foul back, and it's 0-2.
It was delivered outside, but Freeman did a good job keeping the at bat alive.
No balls, 2 strikes to Freeman. In the dirt, they want an appeal. He's rung up on strikes. Jeff Nelson brings up strike 3, saying that Freeman went around and Freddie doesn't like it. And that's a strikeout for Chris Resop.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, Freeman has a beef. That was wow. And now Jeff Nelson. See, now that's where Nelson makes a bad call, And now he's not going to take his eyes off the dugout.
Now he's throwing Freeman out.
Oh, yeah.
Freeman is ejected here in the 8th inning after a very brief appearance at the plate.
Is that what you call down and out? Down on strikes and out? Oh, you don't do that. Don't pursue this any further.
Lyle Overbay at the plate. Freddie Gonzalez is kind of observing at this point in time. Not much he can do.
Lyle Overbay has scored the only run, 1-out double in the 4th. He came around, and that's been it. Pirates lead it by 4.
Here comes the 0-1 to Lyle Overbay. Pasternicky at first, and 1 out. The pitch. Ground ball off the glove of Jones. Got a chance here as Harrison tosses to Resop, and they record the out.
This Resop doing his job, getting over in case he is needed. That time he was needed, got there.
3-4-1 on the putout, and Pasternicky advances to second base. That's called staying with it.
Go, Chris. Not fancy, just doing your job.
Jones slowed it down enough. And Harrison alertly there to make the play. Brings up the catcher, J.C. Boskin. Now, one of the things going on in baseball tonight, the Orioles trailing the Yankees by a game in the AL East. They're in the top of the 9th inning in Tampa Bay. Baltimore a 1-0 lead. They're in the bottom of the 7th in New York. Boston leads the Yankees 2-1. If those scores hold up, they will go into the last day of the season tied.
Isn't that amazing?
Play for the division on the last day of the season, and if they both win or both lose, they would have game 163. Right now, if it ended today, because Baltimore's a game back currently, they would play the Athletics in the wild card. Detroit's a division winner. Texas in the West. And the Yankees have yet to clinch. So they're behind. Meantime, Baltimore's ahead. Wouldn't that make the final day of the season tomorrow interesting?
Here's your Baltimore situation.
So again, they would leave an extra day to see about 163. The loser of that game would be the wild card team. They'd have to play the next day. This one gets away from McHenry all the way to the backstop, and Pasternicky down to third base. A wild pitch.
So we could wind up having some stuff that we saw on the last day of the season last year.
Yeah.
Which was the wildest finish of a baseball season there has ever been.
It's absolutely one of the best days ever in recent memory. A.J. Burnett will pitch tomorrow against Ben Sheets in the finale. And Nissan Road ahead, the final pitching matchup to give you for the 2012 season. Sheets making a return to the big leagues. Yeah, stop the woo, he said. He said, "Uncle."
What is the woo?
I don't know. I can't. It's just a noise. It's a noise that people make toward the end of games here.
Why can't you have a trivia question? You know, who started the woo?
It's got to be answerable.
They look like they're a little upset with the woo.
There's the 2-0. Boskin to right field. Back on it is Presley. He makes the catch. Chris Resop comes in. Nothing across for the Bravos.
in the bottom half of the 8th, and Jay Hay enjoyed every chance he got to play in his hometown of Cincinnati this season, but one at bat here at PNC Park was pretty special as well this season.
For me personally, it would have to be Mother's Day. You know, it was a walk-off hit for me, and my mom, my grandma, my aunt, my cousin were all in attendance who happened to be mothers. So that was a highlight for me, for them to be able to experience it. And, you know, it was a cold and rainy game, and, you know, for us to be able to get the victory. And, you know, I was able to, you know, thank God I was able to get a walk-off hit in the 12th inning of a rainy game.
Yes, it was a cold, rainy, ugly day earlier this summer, but he had his family in town. And that, I think, guys, was a pretty good Mother's Day gift. And I guess he got a gift as well. That's the gift I'm talking about right there.
That's pretty neat right there. Good stuff.
Yeah, that was the Mother's Day Marathon, a 12-inning affair. Josh Harrison ended it. It was a good ball game. So Harrison will lead off in the bottom of the 8th inning. And on the pitch is Chad Durbin.
His numbers as he makes appearance number 76. He's got to be among the National League leaders.
Durbin deals a strike to Harrison. One ball and one strike. Final pup night of the year, Steve.
Sorry to hear that.
Great when the dogs are.
They're very popular. Very popular, these pup nights. They started out as one or two, I think, and now it's become a regular part of the season.
You know, over the last couple of seasons, we've seen the fans, you know, starting to dress up as pirates and dress up in their pirate gear a lot more. And then now we're seeing the dogs dress up in their pirate gear and as pirates. Harrison, right at Baker. Going out in the Pirate 8th.
Perfectly played, sharply hit ball, hit it hard, but the Adam ball.
Chad Durbin looking in. He'll face Clint Barnes, the shortstop. And strike one. Vuvuzela.
Looks like fun.
Well, those have been showing up a little more often here at PNC Park. Takes a lot of effort, doesn't it?
It does.
Fouled back. Count is 1-2 to Barmes. Well, AJ was asking the folks to stop the woo. I wonder what he thinks of the Vuvuzela.
Is that what they call it, a Vuvuzela?
No.
Vuvuzela.
You can just call it a horn.
That's what I was thinking.
But sporting events overseas, you know, we saw that in the World Cup 2 years ago. They became very popular. Fixtures at international soccer events. Ooh, strike three to Barmes. Our day automotive, this day in Pirates history. We go back to October 2nd, 1979. Willie Stargell, game one of the National League Championship Series. In the 11th inning, a go-ahead 3-run home run against Cincinnati. And the Buccos, so we are family Buccos, would go on to win the World Series in '79. Travis Snyder getting a chance to pinch hit in the bottom of the 8th. And he gets himself a pinch hit. Single to right. It'll be interesting to see the development of Snyder. Still a young player. Pirates went after him at the trading deadline. Former first rounder of the Blue Jays. He's got some power. We haven't seen a lot of it yet, but he's a pull hitter. And he could hit for average. He could be a decent fielder. We saw that in New York when he climbed the wall to take a home run away from Mike Baxter. Chase Darno is going to get a chance to get in the game to pinch run for Travis Snyder after the pinch hit single.
Now we get to see Mr. Marte again. He's had himself a whale of a night. A couple of singles, double. Scored a couple runs.
Marte takes a strike on the inside corner. Marte last night had a triple and a home run. Tonight he's got a double and 2 singles. No balls and a strike to Starling Marte. 5-1 ball game. There goes Darno. Throw down, not even close. And the Pirates are perfect in stolen bases tonight, 4 for 4. Hopefully a sign of things to come in the future. Have a running game that's been successful like this.
Good jump. Check the signs. Man on second base.
Marte fouls it off. Well, he's off to some good numbers in his career in the month of October. Granted, it's only a day and a half, but he's 5 for 8 career. That's a reach. He's only played 2 days in October, but
if you go 5 for 8, you're got a little program going for you.
But I think you just got to get excited about what you're going to expect to see from him next year. Be a lot of talk about him in the offseason, I'm sure. And when training rolls around, we'll get another good look. Strike 3 called. Marte down on strikes. 2 strikeouts for Chad Durbin. Base hit by Snyder. On to the 9th. Pirates trying to wrap up the Braves.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Open at 7 a.m. for breakfast, lunch, or whatever you need to fuel your day. Subway, where winners eat. Let's go Bucks!
Top of the 9th inning, 5-1. Pirates trying to put together a series victory. With a win tonight, they guarantee that. Looking for a chance for a sweep tomorrow.
Win number 79, hopefully.
Barrel Automotive League leaders Stat Barrel, driven to be better. Pirates 1999 set a record with 171 home runs. This year 170 after Garrett Jones' 2-run homer in the 5th. They'll have a chance to tie or beat it tomorrow with a game to play. So the power plugged in this year. Gary Sanchez takes over at first base for Jones. Jordy Mercer in at second base now. And Brian Morris is given the task to mop up here tonight with a 4-run lead. Morris making his 5th appearance. Opponents hitting 154 against him. Former starter, now reliever.
Pirates with the 3 spot in the 5th. No scoring since. Good work from the bullpen. Really good work from Kevin Correa to put the bullpen in a good position. 6 2/3 for Kevin. Looking for win number 12.
Juan Francisco will lead off against Morris. Here's the pitch, and that's outside for a ball.
By the way, the work is done for the Baltimore Orioles. They hold on to the 1-0 lead and post a 1-0 win. Yankees still trailing Boston in the 8th, 2-1.
And the 1-0. This one bounced foul past first. Yeah, here's a situation where you want Boston to just take care of business, finish that out tonight, not let the Yankees come back. You want to have the Orioles and Yankees on the last day.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Tangle up. Yep.
Such a great story in Baltimore. 1-1 pitch. 1-2. I know when the Pirates played the Orioles in Baltimore this year, Baltimore swept them, and they looked very good in doing so.
Well, they've had a great year after a lot of struggles.
Garrett Jones making sure the right shoulder of AJ's okay for tomorrow. 2-2 to Juan Francisco. As Steve had mentioned earlier, we are expecting the Braves to start their regulars tomorrow, but not play the whole game. So a chance to see Chipper Jones one more time in the regular season. Morris strikes out Francisco. One out in the top of the 9th. Chipper Jones won't be wearing a uniform much longer. He hopes to wear it for a while in the postseason. Jeff Baker, the batter. And he's swinging a miss.
94 miles an hour from Mr. Morris.
No balls and 1 strike. And Jeff Baker at the plate swings and foul tips it. No balls, 2 strikes. Beg your pardon. That's the count. 0-2. Well, there is Mount Troy, or just Troy, but he's up on top of Mount Troy, which is up on the batter's eye. We thank you, Troy, for all your work out there. And
on top of Old Smoky.
The true center, yeah, the Smoky Mountain. Swing and a miss. Troy goes back to the NFL tomorrow. And good job. That true center field camera. That's a great look for you all year. A new one for us this season, and really, really enjoy it. I know we enjoy seeing it up here. We know you enjoy it at home.
Yep.
It's Troy looking through the lens. He's got the little crank on the side, zooming it in for you. So the Braves down to their final out tonight, and it's up to Jose Constanza.
And once again, a final thank you to everybody who helps put all this together. Last night, Tim, good working with you. We'll get a chance to get emotional tomorrow.
Yeah, so we'll cry and hug and stuff tomorrow. Okay. We'll hug it out. So, you want me to bring the box of tissues, or do you want to bring the box of tissues?
It's been fun.
You had me using tissues earlier tonight.
Well, you
had me laughing.
got a little out of control there momentarily. We got it back together with the help of the guys in the trailer. Pete and Christian, the new fella.
You forgot Adam. You keep forgetting Adam. And Chucky.
No, I haven't
guys.
forgotten Adam. No, just
2-1
you,
pick.
Adam.
This one's low.
Start naming names, I'm in trouble. Adam, thank you. Got Adam covered.
Three and one, 2 men out. Here is the pitch to Constanza. Now the Braves down to their final strike. Brian Morris looking for a clean ninth. He struck out 2, wants another. Everybody's getting up. The payoff pitch from Brian Morris. Fouled off.
One more souvenir tonight.
And we hope you'll make your plans to join us at the ballpark tomorrow afternoon. What a way to spend a Wednesday afternoon. Three-two pitch coming. Little number toward the mound. Morris has it. And that is your ball game. And the Pirates have won game number 79. The Buccos beat the Braves. They've taken the series and will try to break out the brooms and finish up the season with a series sweep tomorrow afternoon.
Rock solid win for the Bucks. Good pitching from Kevin Correa. The bullpen was airtight. And the long ball by Garrett Jones putting the lid on things. Solid win for the Pirates tonight against the Atlanta Braves. Well done.
Kevin Correa will get the win. Garrett Jones, his 27th home run. As the Bucks defeat the Braves here for the second straight ball game. And do it in style. That's it for us here in the booth. Let's send it down to the guys in section 103. Rob King and Kent Jacoby.
Tim and Steve, thanks very much. And Teak, how about this? The Buccos, after a real struggle, obviously, over the last month, they haven't won back-to-back games since September 4th and 5th when they beat Houston. Maybe finishing this season off in style here by certainly winning this series against the Braves. Be nice to see them pick up a sweep, but nice to see them battle to the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to, if it's professional, it's something you do. You have to finish the season. Your job is to play 162 games. You have to play them all as if, each one of them is going to put you in the postseason. The Pirates continue to play well. The pitching has been outstanding here in the last 3 or 4 games, and this ball club is taking it all the way in. A very disappointing month of August and early part of September, but they are still holding it together and going ahead and trying to get to the finish line in style.
Boy, it seemed like Garrett Jones hit the ball hard every time tonight. Just got under one early, but then got plenty of one for his 27th home run season, a 2-run shot. He is standing by now with Dan Potash. Danny?
All right, Rob King, thank you very much. As you said, G.I. Jones with number 27 this season as far as home runs are concerned. But the home run was also your 45th career home run at PNC Park. That ties you with Brian Giles for the 3rd most home runs ever hit at PNC Park. What does it mean to be among those men, Brian Giles and others, as far as home runs hit at PNC Park?
Well, those are some great names to be a part of, and just going out there and try to do my job. Just drive the ball, try to drive in some runs, and just stay consistent. So it feels great to be a part with those guys, and good to get the win today too.
Home run for the Pirates last night, home run tonight. This team now has 170 home runs, one shy of tying the Pirates' single-season mark for home runs in a season. Do we like your chances tomorrow to at least tie and maybe break that mark?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be a pretty cool accomplishment. Coming into the season, didn't know what kind of power we'd have, but we knew we had the talent and potential to put up some power numbers. And to go out this year and to do it and have some consistency doing it feels good.
I know this team had bigger goals and aspirations just a few weeks ago, but you've won the series with 2 games so far. To finish with a sweep and send everybody home here on a winning note, sending them home on a winning note, how big would that be?
It'd be great. You know, we want to end the season on a positive note. You know, it didn't, obviously things didn't turn out the way we wanted to, but we're going to go into off season, you know, with our heads high and confident and excited for next year. And just like Fake Pedro said today on the Jumbotron, he believes in us, and when fans keep believing in us, you know, that means a lot to us.
Garrett, thank you. Do you believe in G.I. Jones? They do. Well done.
All right, thank you.
Guys, it's all yours in section 103.
All right, Teague, thanks very much. And Garrett Jones, no question, an outstanding season for Garrett Jones. Think about it. He started the year as kind of a platoon player and wound up hitting 27 home runs in the top 25 in the league in OPS. A great season for Garrett Jones. And how about Kevin Correa's work tonight, Teague? Probably, we're guessing, his last start as a Pirate. Finishes it with a victory, 24-22 in 2 seasons as a Pirate.
Right, and tonight's his 12th win of the season again this year. That ties his career high that he set in 2009 with the Padres, but also had 12 last year with the Pirates. So, you know, the Pirates hired Kevin Correa to come in here for 2 years and give them the best that he had. He came in 2 years in a row and exactly matched his lifetime high in wins. So, you know, he did his job. He did it well. As you said, probably a pretty good chance that he won't be back next year. Probably going to go the free agent route. But nonetheless, great to see Kevin Correa finish it off with a win. Great to see him have been here and being a contributor for 2 years.
He was definitely a pro. 6 2/3 innings tonight, 1 earned run. He picks up his 12th victory of the season. Stick around. We have the Pirates postgame show presented by Allegheny Sports Medicine coming your way. Highlights from this 5-1 victory and postgame reaction. Our second to last Ask Teague question of the year. We also have highlights from around the league. We'll get you caught up on all the wild card and divisional races. That's on Pirates postgame presented by Allegheny Sports Medicine. It's up next.